You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family Insurance agent, Kim believes that there's much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give Kim a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her you heard it here on Where You Live. It's time for a message from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all of your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Do you need products to successfully run your rental property business? Interested in a class about fair housing or rekeying locks? Want to use the plain language lease that is used by the majority of rental property owners in Minnesota? Then you should visit mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com. That's the website for the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, the most comprehensive resource in the state for owners of everything from a duplex to hundreds of units, and for townhome and condo associations as well. They've been around for 40 years and put on hundreds of seminars, publish a monthly magazine, sell Attorney General approved leases, and have countless other tools for property owners. While they are a membership organization, all of their resources and seminars and their annual convention and their spring conference and their orientation programs are open to everyone. For more information, visit the website, mmha.com.
So it's our last segment, Gene. Do you have another story for us?
I think I do.
Oh, good.
Good. And this comes from Sarasota, Florida. There is, this is something that happened, I want to say a couple years ago here in Minneapolis. It was kind of a big to-do, the whole uptown area.
Okay.
People have been upset. People for years have loved what have they loved about uptown? It's a vibrant night spot. A lot of restaurants, bars. It's a scene. It's a place to be seen. Movie theaters,
stage theaters. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
And so in this gentrification of the area, and with the whole condo craze that took place, people said, "Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Let's have people live here too.
We want to live here too. Right.
We want to live where we work and play." And that sounded so wonderful. But then all of a sudden, people are there and they say, "Wait a minute, it's too noisy. This goes on too late." It wasn't a big deal before because you didn't have a lot of people living there, but now you end up having you make some changes.
There's been a lot of new construction and a lot of mid-rise and high-rise buildings built down around the uptown area, and so all of a sudden it's become a residential area as well as a business and entertainment
And
area.
I remember in that particular case, in that story from a couple years ago, the person who was really pushing it was someone who was on the Minneapolis City Council because they moved and purchased a home in that area.
I see.
But now they wanted it quiet. They thought once a week, whenever they wanted to go out and party and have a good time would be fine. But the rest of the time, everybody else needed to be quiet by 10 o'clock. I mean...
And actually, this problem is not just specific to Minneapolis and Uptown. It happens all over in urban areas. It's hard to combine commercial with entertainment with residential usage of real estate, and we know that from being in the business. Mixed use buildings are a different animal.
Yes,
you've got retail on the ground floor and people living above. It can be a problem.
Yeah. So here is a woman. Her name in the story. Her name's Faye Beloff. And she was holding her smartphone to monitor noise on the deck of her 14-story
she had a
condo.
decibel meter on her smartphone. I thought that was interesting.
Yes, because one of the things that she was complaining to the city council about continually was the noise is too loud, and we can't live here. So we want things to quiet down. Now, it does say that it sounds like that the police did come to her home, and at that one particular time that they set up a decibel reading. It was under the allowed decibels
Right.
For the city.
Right.
But she's not happy about that.
Yeah, she's still not happy.
And like a lot of people. Well, it's still not what I want. And so we've got this battle that's going on from some people who say it's too noisy, and yet you have all the other people who are the merchants, restaurateurs, other people are saying, you know what? This is what people have wanted.
This is the nature of our business, yeah.
Yes, we've got a vibrant nightlife, and what do we do? And it is not without cause, though, too. There were a couple instances, too, I think, that the...
Well, the police have taken up this cause in that they are monitoring more often, and they're trying to enforce the existing noise ordinance before the council even starts to consider whether that has to be changed. And they have found in a couple instances where the decibel level was too high. But because they're more of a presence now, the restaurants are kind of, they said in one case, the bouncer ran inside and turned down the music when they saw the police coming. In another case, they shut their glass shutters when they saw the police coming. And the decibels were high.
Yes. But
in that regard.
But wasn't it also interesting? Seemed like the police also pointed out that when they went and took the decibel reading, it was higher, but the noise wasn't coming from the bars, but just people in the streets. And they said, you know what? We can't attribute that to the restaurant person, but the people walking about.
Yeah.
And so it sounded like there were still some issues that needed to be addressed.
And we talked about this. I think the lesson to be learned is you have to be careful what you want. You have to be careful where you live. It's up to you as a consumer and as a property owner to make sure you're buying what you want where you want.
Well, check
it out.
That's what interests me here. Faye Beloff and others who are upset. My question to them would be, what was it that they expected? I mean, they surely they saw that there was a nightlife there, and if there was a concern, wouldn't you go back and check? I mean, every time my wife and I have ever bought real estate and we had some concerns, we'd go back at other times because we wanted to see how busy the traffic.
Times of the day, sit outside the home in your car, find out what goes on.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because isn't there this idea, buyer beware?
Again,
take some responsibility for what you're going to do with your own life.
Yep, and like we say every week, it's unhappy people who are trying to make everyone around them responsible for their feelings. I'm unhappy, so city, you have to change what's going on. You got to make me happy and give me what I want.
Exactly. And so it is not unlike an HOA at all.
No,
similar to an HOA, if you're going to purchase in an HOA, you need to know what you're getting into. Take a look at the property. Read the minutes of the board meetings to see what kind of actions, what kinds of things are discussed, are issues that are brought up. Know the governing documents to see what prohibitions there are, because if you have pets and they say no pets, that's a big bummer,
That's right.
So
and sit outside the property and see what goes on in the neighborhood, see what the noise levels are, see what the traffic patterns are. You have to do all of that.
What was funny that this woman brought a bunch of the city council people who are up for election to her spot. And tell me if this doesn't sound like a true politician. One was named Dorfman, and Dorfman said he would not comment on that night, but said his stance on noise is clear. I'm not going to comment, but of course, everybody knows what my stance is. So there you have it then.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, I tell you, it's something else. But I guess the moral of the story here is, know what it is.
Take care of yourself
before you buy. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's all the time we've got, folks. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we look forward to seeing you here next Saturday on Where You Live with Gene and Tony, and we'll say bye to that old married man, Chris Huberty. Have a great wedding and honeymoon.
Thank you very much.
We'll see ya.
How sweet